First of all, do you think that Donald Trump seriously intends to topple Maduro?
I think Donald Trump intends to encourage Maduro to leave. And he's increasing pressure on Maduro. That's what you saw with the seizure of the ship yesterday. The day before, two F-18s were flying inside Venezuelan airspace right off Maracaibo. And I would be willing to bet he's got a menu of options to continue increasing the pressure on Maduro. Want Maduro and presumably some number of Maduro's associates to leave the country. They could go to Moscow and live next door to the former dictator of Syria and be very happy there.
So I said, at the start of the show, I said, was this saber rattling or was this the preparation for war? And you would say neither of those things. It's a steady squeeze on an individual and his regime. And there is a decent chance of forcing him out without conflict, do you think?
Well, that's what one hopes. I mean, as Ricardo Hausman said, I mean, the idea is to get Maduro out. The election a year ago was just stolen by Maduro, and he didn't even bother to hide the steal. I mean, that's the amazing thing. It's quite clear to everyone that he stole the election. The regime change was a year ago when Venezuelans voted against Maduro and in favor of Edmundo Gonzalez, the candidate of the United Opposition.
Yes, and indeed, they won, I think, by at least 60-40. It was quite a clear win, yes.
It was like 30% difference.
Yeah, so that's enormous. Let me ask you, however, if this led to a war in which the United States, as it were, intervened directly in Venezuela, isn't the danger that, you know, the kind of world order which restrains China a bit from trying to take Taiwan or restrains Russia in Eastern Europe starts to crumble?
Well, I'm going to disagree a little bit with your supposition. I think we're going to do everything the United States, the Trump administration, whom I do not work for and which does not consult with me, I think they're going to do everything they can to avoid U.S. troops on the ground in Venezuela. So that scenario that you're rolling out is one that I don't think is going to apply. I certainly hope it doesn't apply.
Well, I'm delighted to hear that. Can I ask you about something else I was saying at the top of the show? You can disagree with that as well. But it seems to me that part of the issue here is the deeper and deeper engagement of China in South America, whether it's Panama or other South American countries, offering loans, offering bridges, offering help, and digging into the economies of those countries, which does appear from Washington to be a strategic threat to the United States, or they feel that that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Look, there's a huge need for infrastructure in Latin America, from Mexico to Argentina. It used to be British capital that paid for our infrastructure development in Latin America. Then it was U.S. capital. U.S. companies, by and large, are not investing in Latin America, nor British companies. Peru needed a new port. The Chinese lent them the money. It's going to operate the port. The Chinese aren't giving it away. They want to be repaid, and they're going to make sure they get repaid. Now, with that also comes political influence in Peru. Now they're going to build a road, a highway from that port across the Andes into Brazil, right?
Yeah.
No, the World Bank, the International Money, you name it, the British government, the U.S. aid agency, nobody lends money for those sorts of gigantic infrastructure programs anymore, except for the Chinese.
And the Panama Canal itself
was a huge challenge for all of us, huh?
The Panama Canal itself was involved in possible Chinese investment, I think.
Yeah, because the Chinese had won a Chinese Hong Kong company had won the concession to operate the ports on either side of the Panama Canal. And that's what, really, the beginning of the Trump administration, you remember Marco Rubio's first trip abroad was to Panama to talk to the Panamanians. And in fact, they abrogated the contract with the Chinese.
So there is a much bigger play going on here. Ambassador Shapiro, thank you very much indeed for talking to LBC.